The Doctor Who Alhambra Podcast. Real Doctor Who fans with real Doctor Who opinions.
Hello and welcome to the Doctor Who Alhambra Podcast, episode number 30. Somebody who was not taken over by some sort of Furby-ish creature is me, Brett. I'm not sure about yourself. Legion is currently experiencing internet outage, possibly the Meep, or possibly Liam, because he's been taken over. Liam, are you okay?
Hello. I'm fine.
All right. Well, we have the first new series in the longest time episode to review, and it's interesting. All we've been doing is talking about speculation and news and this and that, and it's here. Like, what? How are you feeling?
It's nice to it's nice to sort of get back to Doctor Who. Honestly, it's strange. You know, after sort of talking about it for how many months? 11?
Yeah. It's
plus.
Yeah, very
It's
interesting.
here and going forward, and it'll be interesting to see. We've got 3 episodes now left, and then a continuation of the season. So that will be interesting to see how that, or when that drops. And they said, was it 8 episodes they said for the season?
Yes, it was discussed 8 episodes. So in
total for this season, it's gonna be what, 12 episodes technically, because of the
Christmas
3
special.
specials and then the Christmas special. So which is basically a full season from RTD from back in the day.
Yeah.
So
interesting thing. So again, before I go to the only time I ever pull up Twitter is the day of the podcast because I cannot stand it. And the first thing I see is some trending things. Now, this is interesting because I have the podcast because I don't want to see local politics and stuff like that. I have set up that I am looking for news in Japan. So that should be the trending information. However, currently I have trending Chibnall. I have the giggle currently trending on my timeline. 11 hours ago, somebody posted a screenshot of what is trending in the UK as well as maybe even, maybe worldwide. And that is Strictly, Wilf, Catherine Tate, David Tennant, and Starbeast. Like, it is a joy to have all of these things back.
everything bar what Strictly is just Doctor Who. Like, it's nuts the amount of like BBC content that is literally trending on Twitter, basically.
Oh yeah, it's good. I'm very excited for this episode because I watched it twice this morning. First, just to watch it. Second, to pull audio clips and get ready for the podcast. I have thoughts, but again, it's a good thing to discuss Who, and it's not something that is dreadful, which I can't say. Yeah, I self-inflicted the flux crap on me. I kept on saying it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, and
No.
worse.
You self-inflicted the flux on me after I noped out.
I know.
So
No. I self-inflicted the flux on me, and then we finally got you involved, which every so often I think about how did we do that? Like, I'm very interested in how we did that.
I think it was just I gave in because it was like, well, you're going to keep badgering me on badgering on about it until I do. So, like,
yeah, no, that was going to happen. Interesting thing. So just before we even start talking about the Star Beast, Legion sent in the chat, and I don't know where he got these numbers from, but he says the overnight viewing figures for the Star Beast is 5.08 million.
It's on Who News. It's the
okay.
I saw the article. It's on it's the overnight accumulator thing.
So interesting, because I like that figure, because I believe the last couple of episodes of Jodie's era were well beyond under that. I want to say 2 to 3 million.
Power of the Doctor was like 2.9 million. 2.8. Something really, really bad.
Oh.
It's not first RTD David Tennant era figures.
No.
10 million, but it's still 5 million, which is way better than anything I think Chibnall ever pulled in. Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Did we break 5 million with Chibnall? I think we did, possibly for.
I mean, what is it? I think Spyfall, obviously The Woman Who Fell to Earth was, I think, really
like
up
10
high.
million.
Yeah, and
ridiculous.
Then I think Spyfall started about 7 or so, and then dropped to 5, and then Series 12 just tanked. So
yeah. So I mean, to start off so kind of strong from 5 million, 5 million and 5.8, and that's just overnight figures. So that's not even the 7-day ratings of people watching it in general. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the overall week figures are going to be. I think I'm going to be interested to see what the very first Shooty episode is. I mean, I think it's going to be quite high because it's going to be Christmas, which again I think is a good move. So I'm going to be interested to see post that what the episode figures are going to be, especially overnight for Shooty season. So that's going to be interesting to keep track of.
Yeah. One other thing, and I don't know if you've seen this, I'm just scrolling down because Chibnall is trending on YouTube. Somebody said,
what are they saying about Chibnall?
Yeah. So this is the first thing that pops up that I see, and I'm very curious. I almost want to do a deep dive into this, but I don't at the same time.
We could if you wanted.
I know, but I want to go into the Star Beast, but this is something that somebody posted, which means I think there's legs to this. And that is, this gentleman says, seeing Chibnall fans criticizing the writing of the Star Beast is sending me into the stratosphere. And they have a GIF of a whole bunch of people just laughing hysterically.
That's hilarious.
Just amazing that, Chibnall fans would be criticizing any writing whatsoever or have any leg to stand on.
I mean, I'm surprised, but at the same time, I'm not surprised in the slightest because this is Doctor Who fans, and Doctor Who fans can complain about anything. So,
well, I mean, it's not Doctor Who fans. I think, and what was it? Somebody shared with me a interview that Henry Cavill did because I think they were trying to save the criticism of The Witcher, and Henry Cavill, and they were just talking about toxic fans, and Henry Cavill came out. He goes, "No, you can't say it's toxic." He says fans love something, and you're never going to please everybody, but you know what? Fans are passionate. And don't confuse passion with toxicity. And I thought that was a fantastic way to answer that question.
Yeah, I like Henry Cavill. I'd love to meet him. He sounds like an awesome bloke.
Yeah, sounds down to earth too.
And that he's just a complete nerd.
Oh, yeah.
So,
all right. Well, with that, I guess without further ado, we will get into the review of The Star Beast, the first special. And before we begin, I'm going to play this clip.
Once upon a time, Lord, I had a best friend, and her name was Donna Noble, a Time Lord and a human. And we traveled the stars together.
Sometimes I have dreams about impossible things. I dream of creatures and adventures and faraway skies. But none of it's true.
Donna saved the entire universe by taking the power of the Time Lords into her mind at a terrible cost.
Binary.
She had to forget everything she ever knew. Goodbye.
No.
She had to forget me.
Please, no.
Because if Donna ever remembers me, she will die.
And now I've got a nice life, with a nice fella and a nice house, and the most beautiful daughter in the world. But I just think something's missing.
I can never see Donna again.
Now the days are drawing in. I keep having more and more dreams. Like something's getting closer.
But now this face has come back. Why?
It's like a storm in the air. About to break.
I think the story hasn't ended yet.
I thought that was a beautiful, prelude, intro to the first special. I think that does a really good job of catching people who have not seen the 4 series of Doctor Who up. It also kind of gets us kind of reacquainted with the 10th Doctor / 14th Doctor. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that introduction?
I didn't mind it. I know some people were complaining about it and saying it didn't really gel with the rest of the episode, but I personally had no issues with it. I mean, it did what it set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
Literally is that, just refresh the audience and maybe introduce the audience who haven't seen it up, basically.
Yeah.
Interesting choice, though. They showed a pyro vial, though. I thought that was interesting.
So as we open after that and we have the introduction, we have Donna, just having a whole bunch of boxes, gifts and stuff like that. And, the Doctor is there and tries to run away and accidentally sees her. He's panicked because he knows and again, this face in particular, if it was any other face, he would not worry. But this face in particular is the reason why he is concerned. And I love the fact that not only does Donna not notice him, but she doesn't notice anything. Like, you have this alien spaceship, crashing to Earth. Her daughter is just like, hey, Mom, check this out. And she is just being Donna, just ranting and just going over about what's currently bothering her and then missing all of this stuff. And then it's even mentioned later that, like, how does she always seem to miss all of these alien things? And it's just like, it's one of those things that it's just Donna, and then it's, I don't know, luck, and possibly a third sense that, the Doctor kind of passed along to her to help prevent her from not dying.
Yeah. Just before we carry on with that, I was just going to ask you if you want to re-edit this and put maybe put this before this bit. But what were your thoughts on the intro and title sequence?
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to those. I needed to get the episode watched, and so whenever I could possibly, fast forward through time, I was like, I'm just going to get through this. So no thoughts whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
So I do like that they did kind of give, a reason eventually why Donna, because the last time, and I don't know about you, but I heard on some groups and stuff like that people were annoyed that Donna was supposed to be a millionaire. She won the lottery, and why is, her husband driving a taxi? Why is she, kind of living, very meagerly? And I do like that it is quickly discussed that Donna gave away all the money. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I hope they explain that further, because that's kind of not in Donna's character. I mean, she's compassionate, but when we last left her and she won the lottery, it seemed like there's nothing that you could do to have her part with that money whatsoever. And so I found it kind of an interesting, and, some fans quick to criticize regarding everything, but I found, eventually the explanation, at least plausible. I don't know. What about you?
No, I thought it was a fair enough explanation in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the fact that she was subconsciously acting like the Doctor, and it was a what loop? Something, memory loop?
Yeah, something like that.
And that was making her more like him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was a good explanation.
I like also that the writing in this episode really set certain things up. How it is, we are initially told that the alien spaceship did not crash, but actually
it was
parked. Yeah. And
what do you think? What do you think to Hebe 2.0? By the way,
I was just knowing that was Hebe. I was rooting for her death. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible, horrible person. But I just
I'm like that's how Hebe should have been. Like I like Shirley. Like she's cool.
Oh yeah,
she's sassy.
Not detestable at all. Unlike Hebe.
She's witty, she's funny, I really wish that was how Hebe's character would have been, because I think that would have been a lot more fun.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But, yeah. So I'm going to play this clip.
15 years. There's just this gap. It's no great mystery. You had a bit of a breakdown, sweetheart, and then you got better. Sometimes I think there's something missing. Like I had something lovely, and it's gone. And I kind of look to the side, like something should be there, but it's not. And I know I've got Rose and Sean and you, and the biggest sausage roll I've ever seen. Frankly, I should be happy. I should be really happy. But some nights, I lie in bed thinking, what have I lost?
Rose! Have you seen? On the Flatwood, a spaceship landed!
Fudge, that was miles away.
No, but a bit fell off, like an escape pod, with aliens inside!
So I really like that because, Donna's mom sat there denying anything regarding alien landing. We get a Wilf reference, which I found fantastic. How Donna was just like, yeah, he was always going on about aliens as if I knew something or whatnot, and then he would secretly hide something. So this kind of set up the whole thing. And I will tell you, I am heartbroken that we didn't get any Wilf, appearance.
Yet.
We
will.
Yeah, we will?
Yeah, no, we will. Yeah, we will.
Okay.
Probably in the third episode.
Excellent. That'll be good because, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted the most.
What did you think to Fudge? I quite liked his character. I mean, I know he was obviously a minor character, but I thought, he was quite cool too.
I don't know. I just found him a character that just would make appearances from time to time. I didn't really I was just purely watching the show for the show and, basically just enjoying the fact that I got the Doctor and Donna back together again. Like every single thing else was a side note, in my opinion. Oh, and then just, waiting for Wilf to hopefully make an appearance. And I'm glad that, he's not dead, even though Bernard Crimmins is. I'm glad that he is being taken care of by UNIT.
Yeah.
So we have these alien hunters, these Wraith warriors, and
Wrath.
they are after the Meep. And at least when they made their first appearance, and I will even say kind of some of their, when they were on full screen, they were very Sarah Jane Smith adventure type vibes, like very clunky.
I mean, they are the Wrath, like it is like Wrath, like Warth. The Wrath warriors are from a comic in the 80s, so they do have that comic book style, I suppose. I thought it was interesting that Pat Mills got a credit along with Dave Gibbons as well, and that was obviously the writers and I guess creators of the Star Beast back in the 80s.
Okay.
So,
well,
it would be interesting to compare this actually with the Fourth Doctor adaptation of the Star Beast.
Oh, no. I definitely need to delve into that and make some compare and contrast. I disagree. Just because it was in the comics does not mean I don't think it should allow them to make it clunky. I mean, the Star Beast, or the Meep itself, was done very well, and to have these Adventures of Sarah Jane Smith aliens, I just felt as though it just was a tad bit off. They didn't need to be scary, but I felt as though they needed to look more especially modern Doctor Who-ish, not 2006, 7, 8 Doctor Who-ish or The Adventures of Sarah Jane Smith. That's my only complaint that I really had regarding the Wrath Warriors or whatever. Besides that, I mean, whatever. The other thing that I really, really enjoyed, like this wowed me, because forever, ever since the sonic screwdriver became a magic wand that the Doctor could use, we've always seen, Matt Smith did a really good job of acting with the sonic screwdriver, pretending he was reading some sort of screen that we couldn't see. And I loved that the 14th Doctor took a sonic screwdriver, basically drew a square rectangle in the air, creating a freaking screen that the audience could see, and he was going, play by play, watching and kind of looking into this spaceship that crash landed in this area. Do you know how happy that simple thing made me? Being able to see kind of maybe what, the Doctor has constantly seen ever since, the RTD reboot series in 2005.
What were your thoughts on the shield barrier thing? Do you think?
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second. But what are your thoughts about actually being able to see the screen, or being told that there is a screen that the Doctor's looking at?
No, again, makes sense. Surprised it hasn't been used before, but yeah, a nice addition that I don't think really detracts from it. I mean, there are things that the sonic screwdriver, I think, shouldn't be able to do, and I think you are right in the sense that it is basically a get out of free jail card at times, but I think that was a nice addition.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to play this clip, and then we're going to talk about this and then get to what you just mentioned.
But why are you hiding away? We're on the same side.
It's all a bit mad, Shirley. I don't know who I am anymore.
Well, You look like the Doctor to me.
Well, exactly. One in the skinny suit. After that, I wear a bow tie. After that, I'm a Scotsman. After that, I'm a woman.
But that's your future. You can't know that. It's forbidden.
I regenerated, and she became me.
You got your old face back.
Yep.
But why?
Well, that's what I'm worried about. Because I've got this friend called Donna Noble. And she was my best friend in the whole wide universe. I absolutely love her. Oh, do I say things like that now?
Sounds like a good thing to say.
But Donna took the mind of a Time Lord into her head. I had to wipe her memory to save her life. If she ever remembers me, she will die. So what happens next? I get this face back and the TARDIS lands right next to her. I turn around, there's her husband, then a spaceship crashes right in front of her. It's like she's drawing us in.
Well, she's making it happen.
No, she's got no idea. She's so ordinary. She's brilliant. She's got this beautiful daughter. She's happy. Is she? And now the universe is turning around her again. I don't believe in destiny, but if destiny exists, then it is heading for Donna Noble right now.
What for? Oh.
But she can't remember. I won't be the one who kills her. Right, there's no sign of a pilot, but that's not an automatic drive, so you should look for some sort of...
Mom?
I absolutely love that clip. And here's kind of where I love that moment right here, because we have so many things that are a huge, huge question. And I'm kind of annoyed that by the end of the episode, one of those questions is answered. I would have actually kind of preferred that the majority of these specials would be dedicated into both of those questions. Why is, Donna at the heart of everything? And then also, why this face again? I wish that both of those were the overarching questions for the second and third episode of the specials.
I mean,
that's just me.
There's nothing to suggest that that's not going to be the case, though.
Well, I mean, one of the questions was already answered regarding Donna. So, I mean, that got kind of resolved at the very end. I just wish it was both of them.
No,
but
none of those questions have been answered. Okay, she's got her memories back, but but those questions are completely not related to that. So no, it's still in play. Like there's nothing to say why the TARDIS is back and landed next to her, or why she's involved again. There's nothing answered there. The only thing that has been answered is just the overall reason for how and why she gets her memories back and she doesn't die, which needed to be answered because obviously she's in the 3 specials. So all of that's still in play.
I mean, I will tell you, and here's the reason why I wish that she didn't get her memories back is, and I'm not going to jump to the very end, but I wish that her sacrifice, I wish she would have died at the very end. I do. I think that would have been a beautiful send-off and also kind of give the new, regeneration of the Doctor, something to move forward with, but also to give him something, because I don't know. That's just me. I think that the Dr. Donna, where we left it off in the fourth series, was fantastic. She can never remember this. And I do feel as though having her memory back is kind of cheating, and her surviving is cheating. I think it kind of de-emphasizes the dramatic moment at the end of series 4. And I think I don't like that, in all honesty.
I mean, let's face it, it only could have gone 2 ways anyway. One, that she doesn't get her memories back, and 2, that she would. So it was only ever going to play out one of 2 ways. And let's face it, I think it would have got annoying for the audience if they'd done it the other way around and she's like, oh, who are you? What? Tell me. And Donna being Donna, she would have forced the doctor to tell her anyway, because if that had happened, right, and the memories had been, kept until the very end of the third special, and she then dies, which, by the way, there's still nothing to suggest that she won't die anyway. I think it would have got annoying because, there would have been that animosity, that kind of, I can't tell you, I'm not going to tell you, and it just would have been a more combative relationship. So I can see why why RTD did what he did in that sense. So I think for the audience to get behind the Doctor, get behind Donna, introduce new viewers to them, I think it makes more sense for what RTT did in that context. Otherwise, I think it could have put new listeners off the show because, this person, this is one person wants answers, this other person's being an asshole and basically not telling her the answers, and just the relationship would have been completely different. And I suppose Russell wanted some of that old magic back and that relationship and the rapport between Ten and Donna, I suppose. So
yeah,
I can see why he went down the way he went down. You
make a good point regarding the relationship because that is super important. But again, at part of the episode, she calls him the Doctor and she doesn't have her memories back. And I think that's what I probably would have preferred.
Well, they're clearly breaking through. They're not back.
They're breaking through, and that's what I would have preferred most of the second episode to have been, is the memories breaking through, not breaking through enough to where they kill her, but you could still have that relationship as they're breaking through. And again, the Doctor not wanting to push her, possibly even, again, what I think I would like is, the Doctor losing in part 2 of the next episode, the giggle, and then, coming out the victor at the very end of the third part, leading into the Shooty regeneration. I think that's what I actually would have preferred.
Well, again, there's nothing to say that still won't happen. So,
well, yeah, because she got her memory back. So at least some of those things already did happen.
I mean, that happened, but that's it. The rest is still up in the air and in play, as I said before, because we don't know how her story ends at this point.
Yeah. So anyway, one of the first moments that I did not appreciate at all, and I think if it would have been anybody but the actress that played Hebe in the Big Finish stories, maybe it's that made me not like it. But when the unit soldier goes over to his superior officer, who is in a wheelchair, and apologizes to her that they need to go up to the spaceship, but there is no ramp. I did not care for that. It should be one of those things like, hey, Mom, we need to go up there and investigate. And she should be like, yeah, duh, get your butt up there. Like, why are we apologizing for that? I don't know why. Maybe it was, Hebe's character, not, whatever her name is, Margaret, or I don't know what her name is. Shirley. Maybe it's just because I know who it is and just how much I dislike Hebe that it bothered me. It could be that. Who knows? But that, for some reason, bothered me. I appreciated the hijinks between Donna's mother and the Doctor upon seeing the Doctor at her front door, the Meep clinging to Donna's leg, then Donna's mom punching the Doctor in his face in order to protect her daughter from not seeing the Doctor. Absolutely love that. Then you have this moment, which you mentioned earlier, and I hated this moment. I hated the Doctor using the sonic screwdriver to create a energy barrier shield that takes, again, one of the joys of Doctor Who in classic series and new series is, the ingenuity, and then when there's all else fails, run. The Doctor basically takes the sonic screwdriver, creates 2 force field barrier things. Instead of yelling, run, and then they run out there, they slowly pull them out, creating a barrier, and then just kind of go up the stairs. I hated that so much.
Again, it's inevitable. Let's face it. The sonic screwdriver is going to get more powerful. It is going to be able to do more things. So I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. It's not going to go away anytime soon. So I just kind of resigned to the idea of the Sonic being the Sonic, and it's going to slowly power creep. And I mean, okay, so it'll be what it'll be, I guess.
Yeah,
it's not being used all the time. It's not being, it wasn't used to resolve the story. So yeah,
well, yeah,
fine.
because
it
then
just, it got them from point A to point B. So
yeah, well, and then here's the other thing is like, well, how powerful is it? Could he have drawn a circle around the spaceship or whatever and kind of forced it to, like, how strong is this thing? We do find out that those warriors, they weren't using blasters. They were plasma weapons, but they were plasma weapons that didn't do any damage that would knock people unconscious. We did learn that
they were using stun guns. They were using a neural anesthetic, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was strong enough to prevent the unit soldiers, bullets from going through. So, I mean, what is the energy level? And I think that is just what bothers me is, well, now the Doctor has an even bigger get out of jail free card rather than just the sonic screwdriver, which is can be a magic wand. Now he can, like he's one step away from being Harry Potter and a Jedi. Like, it's going to be insane if we do not depower what the Doctor has at his disposal. If he can create and build like the 3rd Doctor and 4th Doctor do, I'm fine with that. But to have this constant get out of jail free card in his pocket at all times, I think that is just, I don't know. I just don't like it. All right. So here is this clip right here.
Intercept teleport!
What the hell are you doing?
Silence in court! I'm invoking Shadow Proclamation Protocols 15, P, and 6. Under my jurisdiction, there will be no violence until such time as I deem it fit and proper. Is that understood? Now, Exhibit A, the tact. No scorch marks. Donna, can you confirm?
Yes, no, nothing.
We were hit by plasma bolts, but there isn't a mark. And that soldier in the street, he was unconscious, not dead. Exhibit B, those guns are stun guns. Is that correct?
The guns apply a mild and harmless neural anesthetic. For the record, my name is Sergeant Zogroth.
And I am Constable Zreeg.
But the evil Roth warriors want to kill the Meep.
The only ones out to kill were the soldiers with the swirling eyes. So are they coming to hurt you, the Meep? Or save you?
If I may speak,
address the court.
The story of the Meep is a tragic tale. Their planet basked in the light of a living sun. Until one terrible day, the sun went mad.
A psychedelic sun.
Its radiation mutated all of Meep kind into cruel beasts who live for conquest.
The eyes, that's solar psychedelia.
It renders them as maniacs.
The Meep army captured the Galactic Council, beheaded them, and ate them. The Roth warriors were summoned, and we fought across the stars a long and awful battle.
Meep kind died rather than surrender, and now only this one survives. Their leader, the most cruel and despicable of all.
Meep! Now, let's be fair. It's your turn, the Meep. Witness for the defense. So, what are you saying?
Now to hell with this! Exhibit C! No stun guns from me! Just die!
So I love the whole it goes from a sweet, cuddly, cute thing to having like these razor sharp teeth, has been manipulating everybody that it can, using this hypnotic solar thing to get some of the unit people under its control. I find that is so great. I love that the doctor just pulled out a English, whatever lawyer hair wig thing. Yeah.
Why do you not wear them in the US? Did the barristers not wear those?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Because that's still a thing over here. The judges still wear the gown and the wig.
Yeah, our judges just wear gowns. They don't wear wigs. They just have their own hair. And then I love that, the Meep landed its ship. Again, we found out that it parked. It landed its ship intentionally in this steel facility for the purpose for the Meep to force those under its control to repair the ship. I think it is great, but I will tell you there's two things that I just kind of did not like that I found unbelievable around here. Again, well, you also have the sonic screwdriver thing. Then you also, when the Meep gets back to the enslaved steel factory, the enslaved humans who were not working on the Meep's ship crafted a portable throne for the Meep. And I just shook my head and just like, what is going on? And then Hebe, or whatever her name is, went to MI5 and visited Q at his headquarters because her wheelchair has knockout darts and missiles in it. And I don't know.
So?
I'm like, what am I watching? Did not care for that.
No. Yeah. It was maybe a little bit gimmicky, but yeah, fun enough, I suppose.
Well, I mean, the only other thing is you could say is, okay, so which unit soldiers, have prosthetic limbs? So now they'll have like a Mega Man kind of like, blaster in their hand or something like that. Like, I don't, like, where is this beginning? Where is this ending? It's just bothers me.
Well, obviously she got some level of rank, so I don't think they're going to give everybody like that, weapons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's more, I just saw that as because she was a higher rank. So, I mean, I don't quite understand how she got in that position, but I mean, because she's clearly not a combat soldier. So,
Well, again, it just goes into the whole like sonic screwdriver thing. Like, now we have even more get out of jail free cards. Like, it's not a bad episode, in my opinion. We'll get to our ranking and final thoughts there, but it wasn't a great episode. And I think, and I don't know if it was because of certain things just slowly just started like piling on and irking me, or I had too high of expectations with the RTD return. I don't know. It just, I thought it was just too odd at times. But I will say that that can be, and that I will own that being a me problem, and I'm fine with it being a me problem because we have our own likes and differences and whatnot. So
I could do, but there's only one thing left.
Well, then do it. Hurry up and do it. What are you waiting for?
I think all that coincidence was heading here. To save London from burning. Because you and I can stop this shit. Together. But it will kill you.
Okay.
You'll die.
My daughter is down there.
Ignition in 180.
And it's not just Rose. It's 9 million people who cares about me.
I do.
Why? I'm just no one.
No, you are not! Why does it have to be this?
Entering final sequence.
Westerly. Pelican. Dreams.
I don't care what it is. All right, just go and do it, will you?
Tornado. Dance.
Dance.
Mexico.
Binary. Binary. Binary.
Ignition in 90.
Are you all right?
I gave away my money.
Ignition in 75.
Right, but
I gave away all my money. And do you know why, Doctor? I gave it away to be like you. So I could be kind, so I could be nice, so I could be helpful, so I could be... I had a subconscious infracutaneous retrofold memory loop, making me act as soft as you and give away 166 million pounds.
Yes, Donna, but destruction of London?
Oh, I'll show you destruction, mate. I will triple drive the particle manifesto.
So I absolutely love that. We go from this heartbreaking, again, David Tennant just nails the emotion. It is tragedy. And again, that's the part of her getting her memory back. It's great. We have the best two, New Who people ever with David Tennant, Catherine Tate, Donna, and the Doctor. They are back. They know things now. There is no worry of it. I understand that. I kind of would prefer it not. But you go from this emotional back and forth. She's about ready to sacrifice herself. And again, that's what I was kind of hoping would happen at the very end of episode 3, where she would get like her memory or something, sacrificing herself that way, remembering one last time, and then dying in the Doctor's arms. That's kind of what I was hoping for. But this was great because then Donna gets her memory back and she is pissed that she was so thoughtful.
Yeah.
I love that. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, no, I liked it. I like the fact that her voice changed when she got her memories back, and and she was like the Dr. Donna, how she was obviously in series 4. So I thought that was a nice touch, and just hilarious. The fact that she's like, oh, I was being soft like you, and I had no choice in the matter, and I was doing a you, and it's like, yeah, hilarious.
So I have 2 more clips. I have this one, and then I really want to talk about near the very end before we get into the TARDIS, because I think there's so much here, and I missed something that I wanted to talk about earlier. I think RTD has given us hints periodically through the episode of what is likely to happen either in the next 2 specials or in the up-and-coming season. Because there is like how they, and I don't know, and we'll have to talk about this when we get there, but how he chose to center certain things on the screen, what he chose to show, especially because of the whole series 3 thing with the master, posters everywhere that were kind of prominent, but not at the same time. I'm now like really checking what he chooses to show us, but compared to what he chooses to not show us. And I think it's kind of going to be kind of interesting to peel back those layers. So here is this clip. This is a pretty short one, and then we'll talk about that.
Sergeant Zogroth and Constable Zrieg gave their lives, along with many soldiers of Earth.
Their names will be included in the litany of crimes, as the meat atones in prison for 10,000 years.
Oh, I will escape and have my revenge. So you beware, Doctor, because there's one more thing.
Which is?
A creature with two hearts is such a rare thing. Just wait till I tell the boss.
Cryptic. I hate that.
So, I mean, I think it's almost obvious that the Celestial Toymaker is the boss, and it's so obvious.
Yeah.
I almost don't want to believe that that's the boss.
I think it might be a bit of a red herring, but at the same time, we know it's coming, so,
Well, and just out of curiosity, did you know or did you do any research regarding the Meep before this episode, knowing that it actually is a villainous creature in the comics?
Well, no, because I've listened to the Ratings War and also listened to the Star Beast from the Fourth Doctor comic strip adaptation, so I know what the Meep was anyway, so I knew that was coming. So
okay,
it wasn't
well,
a surprise.
that was my question. So, I mean, because I didn't. I kind of appreciated, the cuteness of everything. And like I said on our group chat, that for some reason, when I said it's like this, you read into me saying it is exactly like this. I like that it goes from like this cute Dobby-like house elf thing with its huge, gigantic eyes and its kind of backwards talking thing similar to Dobby. And then once it's revealed its evilness, that all goes away. It's just like, muhahaha. If it was a Bond villain, it would be petting a cat and laughing maniacally. But again, it just, shows its actual teeth. And I kind of like that reveal. And I appreciated kind of being in the dark about the whole thing. So I thought, and that's, again, why I asked the question. So, So as we do go from there, we are going to approach the TARDIS. And as they approach the TARDIS, here is something that I don't know if they audio described it. Actually, before I do that, I want to go back. So back when we were with the Wraith Warriors, and they were going from, attached house to attached house, going through somebody's house who was, unconscious on the couch in front of the TV, the camera had a full frame poster saying Red Dawn. And I thought that was interesting because first off, that is a movie, but second off, it's not a movie poster. It just says Red Dawn. So again, I'm trying to figure out if that is one of those.
That's a Big Finish Ice Warrior story.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out, if this is a tease that Russell T Davies is doing, if it was a shout out to the Big Finish thing. I'm trying to be very observational. And that's why, when you asked, like, what did I notice about that kid actor? Nothing, because he was just there. I wanted to see if I could detect any overarching hints that he left in this episode. So there was that movie poster right there, which now makes me need to go back and check out some of the other movie posters in that guy's flat. And then also maybe figure out like if that guy is a Big Finish writer. That'd be kind of interesting too. But
what did you? Speaking of like callbacks and things, what did you think to Rose Noble and Yasmin Finney in general?
Just there, like what I wanted is the Doctor and Donna. Everything else was moot, in my opinion. I want more Doctor and I wanted more Donna. Really, just
we're getting that in 2 more specials. So
I know, and that's all I was focused on in the episode. I had no idea how big of a part Rose Noble was going to be playing. And so whenever she made her appearances on the screen, I was just like, okay, this is just getting us ready to this plot right here. I really, really have no opinion on the whole thing. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
About what?
Well, you just asked me a question, so I'm putting it back on you.
No, I quite like her, actually. I mean, I had to rewatch the final, scene thing. I mean, it's going to probably annoy some people within the fandom, surely. I mean, I was a little bit, I think, on a first watch, annoyed at the whole comment thing because, just before he says, oh, like Time Lords are kind of almost above the whole gender thing, which, that's cool. And then the one line of, oh, yeah, but you're presenting as a male Time Lord, you wouldn't get this.
Oh, yeah. I didn't care
kind
for
of
that.
Annoyed me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, I suppose it was directed at just male Time Lords, right? Like, if they'd said, a male, full stop, then, yeah, I think, that would have been a bit on the nose and a bit uncalled for. But, I quite like Rose. I hope we see more of her. It'll be interesting to see if we do. I think it would be interesting to sort of see her alongside Shooty's Doctor. I mean, we're probably not going to because she's 15? 16 probably.
In real life, she's 19.
Because it was... Yeah, but I mean, it was 15 years ago since... the end of time. So if she was pregnant then or just after, then she's at the very least possibly 16.
Yeah.
At the very least. So yeah, I'd like to see more of her. In general, personally, I think she would be a good addition. I don't think, however, though, she is going to be. But that could be a surprise, that Russell could have kept back. So who knows? He might do another Catherine Tate and have Rose in for these specials, and then maybe season 2, Rose joins the Doctor for adventures and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Catherine Tate did in the Runaway Bride. So I think there's always that potential, and I think it would be nice if she could join, but also I do understand that she might not either. So
yeah. Well, and again, here's my opinion. I'm more in the camp of let's not regenerate to Shooty. Let's just have more. Tennant and Tate. Let's do that. That's the camp that I'm in. That's my happy place in New Who.
To disappoint.
I know, but I'm giving you my thoughts. So, again, that's what I would prefer. You told me what you preferred, and I did not interrupt and jump on your parade. That's just what I would prefer. So, anyway. So as the end of the episode is approaching, the TARDIS is in view. They're getting close to it. And here is, and again, I will ask you if they audio describe this similarly to the Red Dawn poster. And that is a shop at the very back end of the screen, but it is almost off-center to the point where you cannot not see it. The shop is entitled Cyberdog, and out front of it there is a cyber-ish a dog-like outline done in silver with 2, probably I just kind of guesstimated when I paused the screen, two about 18-foot silver statues standing on guard by the entrance of this shop on both sides. One of them is female, and it kind of has a similar body type to the robot on Metropolis, with a head to me similarly, and head and eyes similar to me to that of the robots of death. And then the male robot on the other side, similar body structure, but with a visor like Cyclops from the X-Men with a blue light in it. And so I'm kind of intrigued about if this is, I don't know, maybe the Celestial Toymaker shop, if this has something to do with it, or maybe it's just a fun shop and Russell T Davies is trying to do some manipulation. But I just, where it was in the screen, it didn't seem like it was an accident at all. And was that audio described, just out of curiosity?
No.
Ah. All right. So I'm going to be kind of curious to find out if there's anything going on with these statues and or this shop, because again, the TARDIS materializes basically around this area, being drawn to Donna and doing a whole bunch of other things. So I'm very curious if the location of this landing, the location of this shop, the location of where Donna was, has, you know, is being pulled and manipulated by possibly the Celestial Toymaker, possibly by something else. I don't know. I'm going to be very intrigued to find out what's going on with everything. The TARDIS console room is finally revealed, and I like that the whiteness of the interior is back, as well as the roundels, and the console is very similar to the classic console, with at least the way I would describe it as some updates and some callbacks to the 10th Doctor's, you know, grunginess. The only thing I kind of did not like is the coffee machine. Like, it should just be a food machine. Like, just have a food machine right there. It's okay. It does not have to be a stupid coffee machine. But that's, whatever. The
only thing I didn't like about that was that I wish there'd just been a line saying why the TARDIS had changed. Like, there's no reason for the TARDIS to change. You know, it's just literally, ooh, Disney, money, look at what we can do, cha-ching. But, like, I just wish Tennant had gone, oh, the old girl was feeling contemplative and has changed or something. Just a one-liner to go, she's changed because blah. Like, you know, or you know, have him do the whole scene and then just ask, well, why did you change, you know? And then just, I don't know, the TARDIS makes a noise or he gets some telepathic response, and then, you know, convey that to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that would have been nice.
Well, and then the other thing is with this whole interior change, generally the only time the interior never changed was going from the 9th Doctor to the 10th Doctor. That interior stayed the same. The 11th Doctor got 2 console rooms. So, like, is this Shudi's console room? Or, I mean, because we got the coffee spilled on that. I mean, that's an interesting thing to kind of contemplate is, you know, is it going to now kind of be a tad bit different because Donna poured coffee onto the console room, or the console itself, creating it to take off instead of going to sing Wilf like they were intending to. So, I don't know, kind of an interesting question to kind of pose there. All right. Any final thoughts or summarizations of this episode, the first of 3 specials, The Star Beast?
On the rewatch, I noticed more of the conversation between Sylvia and Donna, and they spoke about Rose, and it was definitely confirmed that Rose was also trans as well, growing up, which I thought was interesting because I missed that the first time round. because it was like, oh well, it's because they were doing the whole, the whole Time Lord thing, and binary, non-binary, and the fact that the meta crisis was kind of inherited, so that's how Donna survived. I thought was a neat trick, which actually, thinking about it now, must have meant that she was pregnant. She must have been, because of the whole memory thing. So she must have been pregnant during that point for that to happen. Yeah, there was gender politics and identity, gender identity in there, but it wasn't rammed down your throat like it would have been in the Chibnall era. Oh, and did you notice the difference? They were running and they were dialoguing at the same time. They weren't hanging around in a room going, oh, well, we best escape soon. There's a monster coming. Oh, yeah, well, before it does, let's have a conversation first. Oh, all right, yeah, we've got time.
Oh, no, it caught up to us.
So, yeah. So yeah, I appreciate that they can do multiple things at once now, and they, that they can multitask again.
Well, I mean, Chris Chibnall was never able to multitask, so, I mean...
No, but so I'm glad that they can run and talk at the same time again.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, for my opinion, I did not like the whole Rose berating the Doctor for calling the Meep he. Like, I didn't enjoy that. Just, like, the Meep can be like, excuse me, I'm a Meep. Like, have it speak for itself. I don't need somebody to speak on its behalf. I didn't like that. But again, it didn't take away, did not detract from my enjoyment of the episode. To me, in all honesty, because I'm under the impression, and I found something on Twitter, and somebody found like my same, thoughts on the whole thing, is, this is the first episode of the new Doctor. And my question to myself was, where does it rank and how well is it? And it's fine, in my opinion. To me, if I were to rate it, and I am going to rate it, it's a 6. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just fine. That's what I would, rate it as a 6. I don't know. Where would your rating be?
I think on a rewatch, I rate it higher than I was going to initially.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Like, it's not perfect, and there are, like you say, a few things that I wish they'd done or hadn't done. Like, again, the whole Rose berating the Doctor thing on the whole gender. I get and I appreciate that was something close to her heart and close to the actress as well. Actor in real life. So I can understand that, but at the same time, yeah, I think that should have been down to the Meep to do, but I think I can also understand why the Meep perhaps didn't speak up.
Oh yeah, because
I suppose they were trying to keep the cute kind of I'm defenseless thing going, so I can understand why.
But that's what it should, because that's what it responded to. It just should have said, "I am just the Meep." That's what it should have said, because it was still trying to be cute, and it should not have. It should have corrected it, but it should have done it in like a cute, deceptive way. We didn't need, it wasn't overhanded, but to me, it was it just pulled me out, and I just don't like being pulled out, and that's why I gave it a 6, is because of being pulled out of the episode from time to time with the. I appreciated that Dr. Sonic Screwdriver showed a screen. I did not like the stupid energy barrier. I there are some things that I found obnoxious. The unit soldiers apologizing that the opening hatch to the spaceship was not wheelchair accessible. There's just certain things that just kind of annoyed me. The clunkiness of the alien. I think that kind of, took it down. It doesn't need to be scary, but it needs to be you have the Jadoon. The Jadoon are fantastic, kind of very realistic things. Why is this, looking for a zipper in the back of this thing's suit? I don't like that. So, you have been listening to the Doctor Who Alhambra Podcast. Doctor Who is owned and trademarked by the BBC. Doctor Who Alhambra is not affiliated with the BBC or Big Finish. No infringement is intended. Visit our website at alhambrapodcast.weebly.com or email the show at alhambraaudio@gmail.com. Tweet us at Alhambra Podcast. That is ALHAMBRA Podcast. Thank you.